There's something so satisfying about turning an underused corner into a space that truly serves your family. In this final part of our DIY Mudroom Makeover, I'm walking you through how we finished it off with a budget-friendly door solution and my favorite part, the finishing touches and of course, some organization. So grab your coffee, get cozy, and let's wrap up this project together. Welcome back to Organize to Save. I'm Lindsay, and today we are wrapping up this custom DIY mudroom. If you missed the previous videos, I posted 2 other videos in this series, so go check those out before you continue on today's video. But today we're finally bringing this whole project all together. I'm going to be sharing with you how I created a custom door solution that saved a ton. And of course, we are ending with the fun part, organizing the space to make this function for our family. All right, guys, so are you ready to see my sneaky budget saving tip here on these doors? I'm actually utilizing closet doors that we had in our house previously. In our house upstairs, there were so many closets that just did not make sense for our family to have doors on them. So we took these all out many years ago, and they've just been collecting dust in our basement. And when I was cleaning up the basement, I stumbled across these doors and realized I can totally use these for this mudroom, and it's actually going to match my house really well because this door style matches the style of the garage door, which is right next to it. So it was a happy coincidence, and it's saving me a lot of money. So I'm going ahead and just cutting these all down to size, and I had Jared help me actually cut the widths down because I needed them to be slightly smaller so that they could fit into the opening for the doors. So my tip for you is to get creative, think outside of the box, and look around your house to see what you already own that you could utilize in a brand new way. Okay, so what I am doing now is I am working on the shoe cabinets. So I am utilizing this bottom section of this door. So basically, I'll show you. So I have this remnant left. Now, obviously I don't have the trim to go all the way around each door. So I'm kind of experimenting here. Basically, cut it in half, and I'm using that for each of the doors. So line up with a piece like this. So it's chopped at the top, voila, but it is the same height as the previous IKEA cabinets. So I'm trying to make this feel all cohesive, all built in, but what I'm doing right now is I need to basically detach this hardware from the current cabinet front to be able to attach it to my new one I just cut. So I'm just going to line up the hardware onto this new door, get it installed, and then figure out what I want this to look like. So let's get working. Alright, a quick little tip for you. When you are sanding and want to minimize the dust, go ahead and tape your sander up to your shop vac. This will really help to minimize the mess. Even though I'm doing it outside, it's just going to really help to keep the mess down. So since I am utilizing these old doors, I had a lot of sanding I needed to do for this project. So if you pay attention closely here, you will see that I kind of made a bit of a mistake. Yeah, it's kind of important when you hook up your sander to the shop vac. Make sure the shop vac is on. I got 2 whole doors done before I realized that I didn't even turn the stinking vacuum on. So make sure you turn it on before you start your sanding, and then it will actually do what it's supposed to be doing. So I went ahead and just wrapped up getting all of these doors sanded so that way we can move on to the next step.
My first and last mistake. I'm blue without your face. But what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back. Now I'm cold.
There was a lot of trial and error with trying to get these doors to fix. As you can see, I had to continue sanding down until it fit in place. But once I got it, it was smooth sailing from there. We went ahead and routed out where the hardware is going to go. This hardware I actually salvaged from the closet doors that we are using. So it worked out perfectly and ended up matching the other hardware that you'll see later on. Another huge budget saving tip: utilize stuff you already have. I am gonna just keep saying it again, guys. All of these hinges are also from these closet doors. I pulled out spray paint and got them to all match all of the hardware, and you will never even know. Figured it out. That took a lot of brain power, trial and error, to make a functioning door. So now what I need to do is to figure out a stopper of some kind in here, so that way when I shut it, it doesn't go all the way and hit the shelf. That one, there will be no shelf in there, so I need to figure out a stopper for both. You're only living in your damn head. All right, so once I wrapped up these large doors, I went ahead and started working on these 4 smaller doors. Now, first thing I needed to do was figure out where I wanted the handle placement to go. This was a little tricky because I wanted to make sure with how high these were that we could still easily open them, but I wanted to all look cohesive. So I ended up choosing the center placement. This is just making it super easy to open. Went ahead and followed the exact same steps. Utilizing these tools, which just made this process so much easier of putting on all this hardware. Highly recommend this if you ever have a hardware project. Once I got all the handles figured out, I had to go ahead and route out where the hinges were going to be. With just how tight of a fit this was up here, I really just needed to have a teeny bit of extra space so I could make sure this all fit. So I just went ahead and wrapped this up and got all 4 doors installed. Alright guys, we are to the fun part of this project. We are to the organizing and putting all the finishing touches on this project. Inside this cabinet, I wanted this to act as kind of my command center. I really wanted to keep the inside of these cabinets super functional, so I opted to go with a bunch of hooks. I also included hat hooks in both mine and my husband's cubby as well. I installed this docking station, which has been functioning so well for our family. We can charge all of our tablets, school tablets, you name it, and also anything else of our kiddos that needs charged. It can all be stored inside this cabinet tucked away. Not only is this piece absolutely beautiful in this space, but it's offered us so much extra storage that we never had here before. I can keep all of our extra snow gear, and now that it's finally warming up, I need to change that out with a lot of our summer stuff. But I love that we have all the different options for all of our stuff, with the closed options up above and the cubbies down below. So if you remember previously, coming and going from this space was quite the hassle. I had stuff in multiple different places. Now it's so easy to just come here, find exactly what I need to be able to quickly and efficiently get out of the house. Can we even believe that this is the same space that we started with? With a little creativity and some DIY ingenuity, we completely transformed this space and created a DIY mudroom that totally functions so much better for our family. Not only do we have a ton more storage, but I mean, come on, it's pretty beautiful. So if you're loving these DIY builds on a budget, make sure you subscribe and we'll catch you in the next one.